White House Chief of Staff General John Kelly firing back at a Democrat who called him, quote, a disgrace to the uniform. Illinois Representative Louis Gutierrez criticized General Kelly, saying, quote, he has no honor and should be drummed out of the White House for the general support of President Trump's decision to end an Obama program that shielded young illegal immigrants from deportation. But Kelly fired back, saying, quote, congressmen like Gutierrez have the luxury of saying what they want as they do nothing and have almost no responsibility or accountability. They can call people liars, but it would be inappropriate for me to say the same thing back at them. As my blessed mother used to say, empty barrels make the most noise. Let's bring in retired Lieutenant Colonel Alan West. Joins me now. Good to see you, Colonel.
Good to be with you, Liz. Thank you.
This is pretty disgraceful, an outrageous attack on a man who gave his entire life and his son to the nation in service. Should Gutierrez apologize?
Absolutely, he should apologize. And down south, my dad told me that an empty wagon makes a lot of noise. So it's along the same lines. Look, those of us who served in uniform, and General Kelly served nearly 40 years in uniform, and he continues to serve. And as you said, he as a general had to bury his own son who lost his life, given that last full measure of devotion to this great nation. The Constitution that we took an oath to serve says very clearly in Article 1, Section 8, Clause number 4, that in all matters of naturalization, that enumerated power goes to the Congress. It does not go to the executive branch. So if anything, Mr. Gutierrez should be thanking General Kelly for the fact that he's the chief of staff and he continues to own up to his oath to the Constitution and serve that Constitution. And I do expect that Mr. Gutierrez should be forced to give an apology to General Kelly. But then I also remember that in the Democrat convention last year in Philadelphia, they actually booed a Medal of Honor recipient that was standing there trying to give a speech.
You know, double amputee wounded warrior Johnny Jones had this to say to Gutierrez. Let's listen.
As a Marine who's worn the same uniform as General Kelly, who's lost my legs in combat and fought 2 wars, this congressman doesn't have a leg to stand on when it comes to criticizing or judging the character of General Kelly. A Marine that dons that uniform, that goes through what General Kelly has done, not only himself, but to pay the ultimate sacrifice, the true ultimate sacrifice, to lose his own son in a war and be in the hospital visiting guys like me just weeks and months later. You can probably tell it makes me physically furious to read and hear those words. Hopefully there are 434 other congressmen that have more character and better words and understand honor, courage, and commitment than that congressman.
Yeah, he's mad. You can see that. He's really mad because this guy gave his life and his son in service. And there's also other reason to be mad, and I think, Colonel, you pointed this out. I mean, this Obama program was put in place by executive action. Immigration reform and that Dreamer program, it's been in Congress's inboxes for years. They've done nothing about it. These guys work, what, 4 hours a week? They can't get immigration reform done?
No, you're absolutely right. And so I find it just unconscionable that a member of the Congress who has a lack of, serious dedication to completion of the mission would turn to someone that has worn that uniform, served in combat, whose son served in combat. This is a slap in the face to all of us who have been in uniform for this nation, to have a member of Congress to say what he said about honor and integrity and character and the fact that he was a disgrace to the uniform. Mr. Gutierrez has never done anything for this country other than serve his own ideological agenda and his own self-interest.
But he is saying that he's been asking for something to be done about the Dreamers. I mean, it's going to be tough, and it's going to be really controversial, sending back 700,000 kids here to countries they didn't grow up in. I mean, that's going to be a really tough call.
Well, that may be a tough call, but let me tell you
really
something else.
For those
I have
kids,
2 daughters.
Right?
My 2 daughters are dreamers, too. And I hate the fact that we have people that are trying to hijack this fact that all these American children don't have dreams as well. Let's make sure that we take care of them. Dreamers like General Kelly's son, who is not alive anymore because he did what was necessary to fight for this country.
Thank you, Colonel West. Good to see you.